So if you follow me on social media, I'm sure you're going to guess this one about me. I am a big fan of Instagram. I use it honestly a lot for my online businesses and a little bit for my personal life. And in my opinion, it is one of the best apps for entrepreneurs looking to expand their business using social media. Now, of course, there are some benefits to using other apps like Facebook and LinkedIn and everything, but Instagram, I just feel like it's a little bit more seamless and more generations are jumping into this apps. If it's grandparents, parents, adults, teens, it really doesn't matter. More and more people are flocking over here. Now, if you're like me and you're looking to use Instagram to grow your business, then there's a heck of a lot of us on there too. So today I am speaking to you, my friend. Yes, you, the one nodding when I was labeling you as someone who's using Instagram to grow your business. I see you. And like I said, today I am talking specifically to you, all about how to actually use the app in the most effective way for your business right now. And I'm saying right now, so in a year from now, when someone's listening to the recording of this episode, they can't yell at me and say that I'm wrong. Honestly, I know it firsthand how quickly the online world changes. We adapt and we grow as we are using the platforms and as our behaviors as users change. It's actually one of my favorite aspects about what I do in working in the online world. The continuing education really doesn't end. But anyways, back to it. So what I want to go over today and what I want to cover today is actually how do you use Instagram for business growth? Now, before you close me, because you're thinking, I already know how to use Instagram, I want you to stay put for just a minute, okay? I completely understand that you know how to create an account. I completely understand you know how to post videos, like pictures, send comments, send DMs, post on your stories. I get it. So really, what else is there for you to learn? My answer to this? Well, a lot. Like I said, these platforms change a lot. In fact, some of the features that I mentioned on here today, you may never even get access to. So what happens is what Instagram does, they'll release a feature to a certain group of people and test out the feature. They test it on their users, as any good business would do. But before we dive into it, I'm sure you can agree with me that Instagram for entrepreneurs is completely different for Instagram for people who just want to laugh at funny reels or like nice pictures. You are not that kind of user. You want to make money through Instagram. You want to grow your business through Instagram. You want to attract new clients and customers. You're not the average Joe. So you probably shouldn't use Instagram like the average Joe. In this episode, I'll be walking you through Instagram features and we'll be teaching you how to use these features really just to expand your business. Are you ready? Okay, friend, let's get started. So, first up, let's talk about the new kid on the block, Reels. Well, actually, it's not technically new anymore, but it's still the talk of the town. I don't know about you, but it feels like Instagram Reels have been a feature on Instagram forever. Side note, to geek out on you, Reels were added into the platform in August 2020. The Reels features, they mostly work like TikTok, which is honestly just the way to compete with TikTok. But regardless of the competition, these are the beast of social media right now. If you aren't doing them, if you're not doing Reels, go back a few episodes, okay? Or connect with me on Instagram to get some real ideas. If you're like, I just really don't want to do Reels, but then on the other hand, you're like, I want to grow my business using social media. Sorry to say it, but you have to do Reels to be seen right now. Look, I never thought that I'd be dancing on videos and acting on videos like I am today. I just sucked it up, got out of my comfort zone, and did the dang thing. And then I just posted it. And eventually it became fun. So take it from me, my friend. I'm super introverted. We all are starting out in that awkward position, not knowing what to do. Besides from that, when you start to use it to promote your business, you are going to start to flourish. When you do start to increase your reel content, you're going to see higher engagement, better brand exposure, and possibly could even have an entire marketing campaign go viral without paying a single cent on advertising. I want to say though, there is no one-size-fits-all approach. There's no approach to get you viral. Honestly, there isn't. I do want to give you a few pointers to help you immensely in trying to use Reels to promote your business. My first tip is that you should try to give your audience really a peek behind the scenes. Let's say that your business has to do with making a product, okay? You can do a reel that shows the process of you actually making that product. So if you regularly market your product, they already know what the product looks like. However, what they don't know is how it got to that end result. So showing them that process is one way to build that personal connection with your audience and get them to see the value in the authenticity of your work. Now, another tip for entrepreneurs is to create user-generated content. Again, people love authenticity. And one way to show this is to introduce your audience to your community of users. So if you have people who love your product and would be willing to do a video or a reel talking about it, use it and actually encourage it. If you have a lot of testimonial videos, let's say from your past clients or past students, turn that into a quick little reel and post it. The great thing about this sort of reel is that it usually gets reshared by the people in the videos, which at the end of the day is going to help you increase your engagement and increase your exposure. Now, what this does also is gives your brand that social proof that people need to trust you before they purchase. The most important tip for you, though, is to keep your reels short and jam-packed with value. People love quick to the point information with reels. Plus, it encourages them to re-watch it over and over again, really just to get the full grasp of what you're saying. Regardless, you'll want to make sure that your reels are providing value in some way, shape, or form, speaking to your one dream client. So ask yourself, what value can you give your audience, and then create a reel about it. Now, friend, I do have to bring this up. Don't think that these have to be perfect, okay? They do not. Just post your first one and then they get easier and easier from there. Seriously, scroll back to my very first reel. It's awful. It was not the best, but I just did it and I posted it, and that's what I want you to do, okay? Okay, so another feature of Instagram that you should be taking full advantage of is IGTV. IGTV is like the YouTube within Instagram. The thing about this feature is that it allows you to share videos that are up to an hour long, pretty much like a TV episode. IGTV is really a godsend for entrepreneurs who need to push out long video content to market their business and the brand. So if you have a business that deals with, let's say, like a complicated process, or you really need tutorials to install something, you can use IGTV to film these long and useful tutorial videos that will immensely help your clients. This move really has two advantages. First, it provides value to the people that are watching. And if there's one thing people like, it's value. They want to feel like they've gained something and will certainly remember people who made them feel that way. The second advantage is that it positions you as an expert. People love listening to people who know what they're talking about. So if you can show that you know what you're talking about, you'll get even more engagement and even more social proof. You could also try to develop a community with this recurring show or recurring episode. Again, think of IGTV like a YouTube for Instagram. Now, while this may be somewhat tasking, given that you have to run other aspects of your business, I know this could be a great move if you can think of an interesting, informative, and most importantly, relatable piece of content that you can consistently be sharing over and over again. If you can do that, then you're good to go. Developing this community would mean even higher engagement and more sales. And lastly, you could also host question and answer sessions with your clients or your customers or students or whatever the case may be. What I want you to do, collect the most popular questions, set up your camera, press record, and get answering. Videos like this will not only provide value, they will also position you as that expert and make you even more trustworthy. So give it a shot, okay? Now, the third feature that we need to talk about is those little dots on your profile called highlights. Instagram story highlights, or highlights as most people call them, they are just a collection of pictures and videos and posts that you put on your Instagram stories in the past. So these stories are usually referred to as albums, and most people or brands arrange their albums with different themes. For example, let's say that you went to Spain. You could have a story or a highlight on just Spain photos. So how can you use highlights to market your brand? Well, the first thing to do is have a highlight dedicated to your product. Simple. If new people visit your account and they see a highlight named your particular product, they're more likely to click through that than going through your entire feed trying to figure it out what you're doing. So your highlights will serve as information shortcuts for your audience, and actually you can direct them to your website from your highlights. So think of your highlights, you know the tabs on your website? Think of it like that. What quick information do you want your audience to get access to? And if you are on my Spotlight Theory program, actually, big side note for you, create a highlight for your lead magnets. Super easy to get people in that way. Okay, so the fourth one that I want to talk about, let's talk about Instagram guides for a minute. So I actually just started getting into guides, so let me slide this in here. If you haven't checked out my first ever Instagram guide, head on over to Lisa Ann Coaching on Instagram. This is all about all the big mistakes that I made as an entrepreneur. But basically what Instagram guides are, it's merging your content into one spot, kind of like a blog. So they can be made with previously published posts, even product listings from your account, and even places that you've been. Now, each Instagram guide really has a cover image, an introduction, and optional descriptions for every single entry. So if you don't know how to create an Instagram guide, here's a quick little run through. So what you're gonna do, click on the plus button in the upper right-hand corner of your Instagram app, select Guide tab. You're gonna choose Product, Post, or Place. That's what your guide's gonna be about. Then what you wanna do is select the things that you wanna add to your guide. You would then add a title and a description. And as you know, you should be as creative as possible with this. If you wanna add, let's say, multiple products or posts, all you need to do is click on the Add Product icon and then add even more. Then tap Next and tap Share. Super easy. Now that you know how to create a guide, let's figure out what you can do to increase your brand exposure with them. The first thing that you can do is create a guide, let's say a gift guide. So if you sell products that make great presents, you should get on this literally immediately. You could also compile a list of all the tips that you think can be a great value to your followers. Aside from that, you could also create a ranked list that shows things that are relevant to your brand. So for example, if you sell accessories, you could create a list of your favorite accessories for this and that occasion, whatever the case may be. And as always, you can always mix it up. Add your personality into it. Add your authenticity to it. Whatever you're creating, make sure you're coming across. Think of your guides like a blog. So you can do a compilation, let's say a compilation of recipes or local wineries or a workout program. The best thing about social is that you get to be creative. So that's what I want you to do with these. There is no right or wrong. Your audience will tell you what they want more of. That's a key. Your audience will tell you what they like and what they don't, okay? Now, the last one that we need to mention is your feed. So your Instagram feed is your profile, which is made up of everything that you've posted on Instagram. Right now, I want to talk about your general posts and how really you can tailor those posts to make sure that you expand your business. The first tip for you is to post things that show your product in action. If it's tangible, people will know what it looks like. But let's say that you sell clothing items, okay? Post a picture of someone wearing the shirt, not the shirt hanging on the shelf. Another thing you can post is customer reviews. People want to know if your services are something that they should be doing too, based on what other people experience. One way to make them trust you is by sharing the reviews of satisfied customers or clients. You can even tag the customers on the post to make the review even more real. Some other kind of content that you can post to spice up your Instagram feed include, but are not limited to, tutorials, recipes, explainer videos, inspiring quotes. The biggest one, your lifestyle, if your brand is around you. Now, I did mention this before with Reels showing behind the scene. That's another great one. The same with the pictures that you post. Let's say that, what are you working on? Are you working on your computer? Show it. Are you painting? Show it. People want to get to know you and what you're doing every single day. Now, I also need you to remember that these posts should offer some value, should be relatable, and should paint what your brand is in a really good light. Plus, if you've been following along with me for a while now, you've heard this time and time again. Remember, you are speaking to that one dream client of yours, and you are writing very conversational. If you put these few tips to good use, you'll definitely see some changes in how people interact with your brand online. Now, before we close off for today, let me quickly recap the main features that I want you to pay attention to on Instagram. Your Reels to boost exposure and offer quick value. IGTV for long video tutorials or educational videos. Guides to bundle posts and places together for your audience in a blog format. Highlights for quick information, and your feed, which is everything that you post. Focus there. And then just post. Your audience will tell you what they like and what they don't like. And trust me, we all always start not knowing how to use these features. But I am here if you need me. If you have any questions, need any help, let me know. But as always, friends, if you learned something new today, do me a favor. Like this episode, share it with those who might need it, and finally, subscribe to my channel for more content like this and be a part of this amazing entrepreneur community that we are building here. My name is Lisa Ann, and that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for listening today. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you next week. Same time, same place. Bye for now.